This segment will cover how to pull mobile numbers on the VoterListsOnline.com website. There are a few options to select when pulling mobile phone numbers down. You have a few options such as a sample that includes both landlines and mobile phones, that actually includes the maximum number of methods of contacting a voters. You also have the means of pulling down mobile phone only, so that mobile phone is the only phone number that has a means of contacting this particular record. And you have the ability to pull samples down that include both land and cell, but also make it where all the phone numbers pour over into one field rather than have a separate land and mobile field. So to go over the methods of pulling these down, go ahead and enter in the query information that you normally would, and under Add Phone, we have the option of mobile phones here. What we'll do is we'll pull records with mobile phone only, so we'll select mobile phone. Checking this box means that it only has mobile phones, so that is the only means of contacting this person. So typically pollsters who are trying to reach people who do not have landlines at home will use this option here. So we select OK to that. Make sure you have unique mobile numbers checked over here, and generate your count to get your total. Now there may be some instances where you want to include regular landline queries as well as mobile phone queries. So if you want a mix of those options, under the mobile phone section you will select mobile phone and landline. Make sure this is not selected, and then under your landline phone options, select your normal options here, has phones and the phone codes 1 through 5, and you see this shows up in the query. Make sure you select unique phone numbers, which includes the landlines and unique mobiles for your cell phone numbers, and we'll generate the count for that. Now, because this is a combination of fields, this complex query can take some time, so please be patient when running this count. This is also the option if you want to select a sample for polling purposes that actually includes both land and cell, and I'll explain further what the output of that looks like momentarily. Now that we have our totals, we can go ahead and just check out from this point. So for the purposes of this example, I'll just select cells only, generate our counts, and now we'll check out. On this screen, you want to select the include mobile phones where available. What this does is begin the billing process and ensure that it actually includes the mobile phones in the output of the file. So with that, we'll go ahead and generate the file. Now, one thing to mention is the output of the file itself. Before downloading the file, what you'll need to do is modify your output template. And to do this, you go to Output Fields and Format. Under Fields Template, you want to click the Edit button. And under the Individual section, scroll down and look for the following fields: mobile_code, mobile_num, which this is the actual phone number itself, and also select robo_num. Now this I will explain further momentarily. Now your mobile_num is for the cell phones, while the phone_num is for the landlines. So I just wanted to explain the difference between these two fields. So we'll save this and close out of here. To purchase the file, when you click on the Purchase button, you'll get a checkbox that says I agree to pay the additional charge for those particular cell phones at the rate of 10 cents per record. This is higher than the typical standard rate of the normal voter file data. Now I mentioned the robo_num field. Now to go into further explanation on that, if you're pulling a sample that includes both land and cells, and you're pulling a specific amount of sample for that, the dilemma that you'll face is that you have landlines showing up in the phone_num field, and then you'll have the cell phones showing up in the mobile_num field. Now what that means is that you may have to bounce back and forth between two fields. So what we have done is created a robo_num field that what happens is the data will be pulled over into one phone number field, which is the robo_num field. Now what happens is that it will look for a landline and a mobile number and pull those over into this one field. If there is a discrepancy between the two fields, mobile_num has priority. In that, you have a final field in the output file for robo_num that you can call from, and that will ensure that you will not have to reload a file twice or to bounce between two fields. We also have a help file online under the FAQ section here explaining how to pull mobile phones. We realize this is a complex process and we tried to make it as easy as possible, but when you're bouncing back and forth between two different phone fields as well as trying to ensure that they are both unique, it is a little bit of a complex process. So if you do have any questions, please call us or email nationaldata@aristotle.com. And this concludes the section on mobile phones on VoterListsOnline.com.